has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, the burgundy, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake it up. Ooh, woo, woo. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and he has been dropping sheets of integrity last night in the Stanley Cup. Tonight he's doing it again in the NBA Finals. And he's the golf guru, as you know. Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia running it along with Luke, I am your father. The rundown on a thirsty Thursday, steamy in the Big Apple, I might add, hitting 90. Everyone has body odor. Gabe Morency a double shot this very hour from British Columbia. And then in the coup de grace, the final hour, a double shot with Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider. And I got a lot going on here, Carver High. A lot of Brian Daboll. We got Daboll everywhere around the majors. I'm involved in this Bravo Snakes game. 10-9 Braves down in Atlanta.
Yeah, happy Thursday
yes, sir.
Here on Coast to Coast. And actually a lot going on here. This is about to be a major melt from the Braves unless they can get out of this. This was 10-4 to start the top of the ninth.
10-4 Roger Vector, 10-4 Roger Vector, Romeo
And
Whiskey,
Arizona has scored 5 runs in the top of the ninth. They got homers from Gurriel, Alec Thomas, RBI infield single from Marte. Vargas just had an RBI single. Now it's up to Eugenio Suarez with first and second, and he rips it into the corner, Scotty. So the Diamondbacks come all the way back and not only have tied it, they take the lead, 11-10. Wow, what a melt by the Braves today. Unbelievable. So 11-10, Suarez with the double for him. And look, the Braves have had all kinds of problems, and it only gets worse as the two guys who did it, Blewett and Iglesias, were the guys who completely melted down in the ninth inning, Scotty. Snakes now lead 11-10. Wow.
I mean, to tell you, I saw it go into the corner, and I saw the go-ahead run plated. 11-10 in the steamy hot town, and the Snakes with the huge comeback, and the meltdown by Iglesias and the Bravos. You know, the reality is, I hit that bet last night as well, remember? I went with Merrill Lynch Kelly over Sale. They won that game. It paid heavy money to us, and now they're doing it to them again today. Still 2 outs and a runner at second.
Yes, it is. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Elsewhere this afternoon, the Royals' first game of a doubleheader in St. Louis against the Cardinals. They have a 3-0 lead. Included in that 3-run, Scotty, that Jack Caglione first major league hit was an RBI double into the corner. So he's got himself on the board here this afternoon. Bottom 3 in Chicago, Tigers and White Sox. Actually, they're going to the 4th now. Scoreless in that. One other game starting right now here, and that's the Phillies and the Blue Jays in Toronto, where you're going to get the Basset Hound and Luzardo, minus $1.15 for the Phillies, minus 105 for the Jays, and an 8.5.
You know, I got to tell you, like, didn't Luzardo, his last start, give up like 13 runs? I mean, he got jacked up. I'm going Basset Hound again, and I was like this close to betting it this morning at minus 101, which I was like, wow, that price. Like, everyone thinks Luzardo's so great because he's, like 5-1. But that one performance in his last start was all I needed to see. I'll take a shot with the Jays again today. I still think the Phillies are better than the Jays. But the Jays have moved in the East. As you know, we mentioned this week they got up to second. You know, it's funny, the Jays and the Orioles are both playing well.
Yes, the Jays and the Orioles both are playing well at this point. All right, I've got other afternoon games, but I'll give those to you in a little bit because we have some time before they start. There are 4 other afternoon starts. The Braves get out of it. Now they're going to have to try tie it up in the bottom of the 9th. So 11-10 Arizona going to the bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. Other things to do today, Scotty. Of course, last night, what an outstanding start to the Stanley Cup final. Had it all. Fast pace at the beginning. Edmonton ties it in the third, 3-3. You get the Draisaitl game winner on the power play after Nosek shot the puck up into the stands. That's what it takes. A mistake like that in overtime. Hell of a game, and the Oilers get the first one.
Yeah, I mean, and then we hit the prop under 10 minutes in, a goal. That hit. They were a minute in, and it was Dirty Draisaitl again. And he scored both of them really in the same area, the game winner and that one, you know, down in the low slot, kind of between the circles. I thought that the game winner feed from McDavid over Barkov's stick was just absolutely sensational. What a dish, you know, flipped it right over his stick. Here's a Selke winner, a guy that stops everything, a guy that makes big plays, but McDavid was better and bigger in the moment. I thought his other assist was beautiful as well. He just is he's a game-changing guy. He makes the big plays. He makes the big passes. He's faster than everyone. He scores big goals. So last night, it was like Draisaitl said, he was the recipient of all of the, you know, hard work before it got to his tape. And then he buried it. And they win. Remember, they have literally been down never 31-0 when they had a lead after the first or second period of as much as one goal, right? The Panthers, 31-0. Now 31-1. So they were up 3-2. You get the goal with about 13 minutes left to tie it, and they win it in overtime because of the Nosek over the glass. Delay a game, and that cost them. And then you saw afterwards Maurice having to talk the guy off the ledge.
Yeah, he certainly did have to do that. That's for sure. Heart of the Order, by the way, for the Braves. Riley, Olsen, and Ozuna here against Miller to try to even this thing up.
0-2 count on Riley.
I wouldn't mind, Scotty, if Ozuna hit a homer. I'm just saying. Like, if Ozuna wanted to hit a homer, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
so, I mean, just, you know. Okay, there you go. Also,
there's
of course,
a single. Oh, no, he caught it on the grass.
Oh, how about that? And, of course, we also have tonight, finally, another we've been waiting for days, the NBA Finals, Game 1, Pacers and the Thunder in Oklahoma City. We will get you all ready for that this evening as well. Very exciting, 9.5-point spread for the Thunder at home. Seen a lot of people on the Pacers, Scotty. A lot of people taking the points tonight with Indiana.
Well, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. So what happens is they destroy everyone they play in that building. They're plus 24 in the games. I just think they're hard to beat. I think they'll cover. It's going to be I think it'll be a good game, but at the end of the day, in the second half, I think they go 10 or more like they always do. And you look at, like, I think 17 of the last 20 have covered at home in Game 1 of a NBA Finals, and all, listen to this, all double digits. Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Roger Vector Romeo Whiskey Velveeta. Roger 10-4 Vector. 10-4 the Braves were up and they lose 11-10. What a meltdown. The Snakes come back to, Copperhead snapping the Braves right in the neck. Arizona wins it, and they won last night with Merrill Lynch Kelly as well. You catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets. We, on the other hand, have the privilege of having Morency on with a double shot every day on C2C to start our day and to start his day out in lovely British Columbia. I have to tell you, I was really stoked last night that the Oilers won the game. I thought it was a great game. I thought McDavid was unbelievable. I thought Draisaitl just did what he does, but I thought it was McDavid's pass to tie it, McDavid's pass to win it. He's a freak. Draisaitl's a freak. And they finally wake up and win after trailing, 3-1, 3-2. And then they get it done in overtime. This is enormous. Instead of going down 3-0 like last year, now they are holding the cards. And if Friday night they do it again, then we'll see how funny it is because they'll win the Stanley Cup.
Well, the numbers don't lie. And I don't want to say there was a must win for either team. We've seen the resiliency of both these teams. They won 7 last year. But teams that win game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals go on to win the Stanley Cup Finals 76% of the time. Teams that win game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals on home ice, Scott, go on to win the Stanley Cup 84% of the time. And we talked about the Edmonton Oilers being down 0-3 last year. It was critical that they got the lead. You see the Panthers are very good at playing from behind in games. They're very good from playing behind in series. They don't get rattled. They don't panic. If you're the Oilers, you need to be up 3-0 on them. You know what I'm saying? This is like killing Michael Myers. You're trying to kill Jason here. You can't just chop his head off. You need to then get the chainsaw out. Yeah. And then after that, you need to set the arena on fire. And then after that, you know what I mean? It's never enough, Scott.
Yeah, to throw the ashes in the ocean. You got to keep. Yeah. There's more steps.
And then you pour toxic acid in the water after. Yeah. You put them in an oil barrel. You just don't stop. You can't let up. but that was a massive, massive, massive win for the Edmonton Oilers last night to get it done.
I mean, Bennett, what did you think of Bennett's game? I thought he was huge, not only in his manipulation of that goaltender interference, which I thought was a bad call. I thought he interfered, and what a Oscar-winning performance that was. And then they get the Marchand power play goal on the beautiful cross-ice feed down on the doorstep, bang, and he one-timed it. What did you think of their performance? Because they're a very dangerous hockey team. Like, I'm sitting there watching them last night. They lost, but they could have just as easily won.
No, that's the thing. Exactly. If you're Edmonton, how good could you feel about yourself? You played as good as you could play, pretty much, and you won in overtime. But I think this rivalry is that good, and I don't think it's crazy to say. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but why won't these teams be in the Stanley Cup next year? No, like, seriously, Scott. Like, is there anyone else? Oh, no, the Leafs will beat them. No, they won't. The Canucks? No, they won't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, they won't. Like,
but
so we're going to
have that nice Canuck hoodie with the original logo.
It's a nice hoodie. They got a great logo. Great logo, but they'll be battling to make the playoffs next year. They're not knocking the Oilers off. So, like, they nearly did last year. They went to 7 with them, but in typical Vancouver fashion, they're a lot like the Knicks. Hey, we're doing well. Let's blow the team up.
So who do you want to get out there? Reinhart, you said, is from there, or is it Bennett?
Yeah, Reinhart is. But let me just say something about the Bennett play. Bennett is a master of this, Scott, right? We saw him take Buddy out on the Leafs, the Stolars, the goalie on the Leafs.
Yeah.
And same thing. Oh, I didn't really know what I was doing. I got hit. I fell into you. So he's got this down right now, where basically if you're a defenseman, and he's a big dude to begin with, so if you're a defenseman, you got to jockey with him. But if you hit him too hard, he's going to dive. He's going to do the old, I got hit barely, and then fall right into the goalie, and he's got it down. And then if you don't hit him, then he's just going to get past you and screen the goalie and do what he wants to do. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I think, Scott, in the modern NHL, listen, I think if there's one thing that's wussified in the NHL nowadays, guys, it's goalie interference. And I was a goalie. And I think they go way over the top with goalie interference nowadays. But so in a regular season, I don't mind challenging it, Scott.
Time out. You were a goalie, but you looked way better in the early days of Homicide with the long hair than your.
Well, I had the long hair as a goalie too.
I know, but
I used to take the helmet off.
With the helmet, like no one really.
They knew.
No, they didn't.
They knew. They knew.
When they saw you on stage, that was a better look. With the goalie mask on, it hinders your. I bet the goalie mask contributed to the start of fallout of the hair, and then you went rogue and went bald. Like, what happened?
But I was playing in the 70s and 80s, so then into the 80s, everybody had hair. Like it was just
David Lee Roth.
I used to like show it off too, Scott, in between periods and stuff, or like make a stop with the old water bottle, take it off and do the old flip, do the water on there. The old flip of the hair and the water over the head, just anger the parents and the fans in the stands.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Who the hell does this guy think he is? It's the Hawk. Hey, all hockey players do it. It's the famous, the helmet. Let me shuffle my hair
does
here.
It every night. He does it every night before the game. People giving him the finger and everything else. He's over there.
You saw him turn the national anthem last night. He's like, my hair. My hair's not perfect.
I'll give you this. Last night was the first night in, I don't know, 6 months that I saw the Edmonton crowd or any Canadian crowd not boo the national anthem. They didn't boo the U.S. anthem. Every night for the last 6 months, they booed everywhere in Canada. They hate us. But last night they didn't. It is true. And last night they didn't boo. So I give them credit. I don't understand why everybody hates us so much. Hate that president. Don't hate me. I love Canada. Screw up.
That died down. Died down a while ago.
No, it didn't.
It died. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
And people in Alberta, they want to separate from Canada. So, like, they hate Canada to begin with.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it's taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, so here's the deal. Morency's always here when exciting things happen. He's good luck. I rub his head for good luck and good things happen.
Like a
anyway,
Buddha.
Yeah, he's like a Buddha. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. What do you think there, Coach?
Wow. Well, you know what? They really believed that this was going to happen. And I'm curious, your take is more important than mine. You're actually a Pittsburgh Steelers season ticket holder, but there was no way in hell, Scott, that they were going to try to sell you Mason Rudolph as their starting quarterback coming into the season, right? I mean, they could have, oh, no, we love him and stuff. Yeah, you love him so much. He was your third and fourth string. You never want to play him. Now you love him so much. Scott, the Pittsburgh Steelers to me are like the last franchise I think would want to deal with this drama that Aaron Rodgers brings. Right. And why they keep bouncing around from quarterback to quarterback. This is my hot take. I would have preferred just to keep Justin Fields without the drama. The guy was 4-2. You were winning football games. Teammates liked him. Right. Give him a chance to play and start to develop. And now this year, he could have been your starting quarterback. Rodgers will be there for 1 year, whatever. Now he'll be gone. And next year, you're in the same position to get all over. I don't love it. I don't trust him to stay healthy. He can throw a beautiful spiral. I'm not disputing it. He can still zing it. But he also, you better protect him, bro. You got to change your entire offense. You got to run Aaron Rodgers' offense now, too. Point blank. You can't run another offense. The guy's been doing the same thing. He likes to call the shots. So you got to run his offense right now. And you better protect him because he's less mobile than Stephen Hawking was, okay? So we got problems. Too cold? Too cold. It just came out.
Did he just say it?
Hey, I'm just being real. He was a genius. May he rest in peace. Hey, am I wrong, though, Scott? Am I wrong? Come on, man.
I heard. Now they're probably going to go.
You like that one? You didn't see that one coming.
I need a drink. Now they're probably going to go get Lazard, right? He gets whatever he wants. Then he's going to pick his receivers.
Too bad you missed out on Devontae, who's with the Rams.
That was the best line of the year.
We got to bring it once in a while. We got to bring it once in a while still. Bring the heat.
This is what Sundays was like when you and I did the NFL.
Yeah, this guy. It could have been worse. It could have been worse, Scott. Yeah. That's what we need. We need to go uncensored style on Sundays. That's the way to go.
That's what they get bad when I get in trouble with 90% of the things that come out of my mouth, so let alone uncensored Sundays. Good effing luck.
But so are you getting the Rodgers jersey now?
No,
dear God, like
never.
Aaron Rodgers, like
my son's upstairs in the bathroom with razor blades right now, cutting his wrists. He is. He wants to kill himself because they got Rodgers. We've been waiting for this for so long. It's like waiting for your marriage to end. I mean, it's just
here
like,
it is.
Oh, here it is.
And here it is
talk
right
about
now.
it now for 24 hours. It's going to take over television. It's going to be painful.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not doing it. In fact, I'm not a fan of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of this from a football perspective. Like, I'm not like, oh, yeah, they got Aaron Rodgers. Watch out.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I'm
You know what I mean? You got Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but listen, it's better than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard. I mean, you got to admit that at the very least.
So you got Aaron Rodgers and you got DK Metcalf now.
Better than Russell Wilson.
That's the new look. So you went from Pickens and Wilson to Metcalf and Rodgers.
Better, but I don't like Wilson better than him.
No, that's my take at this. Listen, I'm not saying they're going to be terrible or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you had a young quarterback in Justin Fields. I don't know why you ran him out of town personally.
So, who do you like tonight? Game 1 NBA Finals, Gabe.
Well, this could be a suicide mission, but give me the Pacers plus the 9.5 and give me the over in the game. Taking the point, Scott. Let's roll.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
you go. I was laughing pretty hard there, Carver High. It just did not go well for me. I actually, I laughed so hard I was sweating. I literally, it just was unhealthy at some level. Like, and I can only go to like an 8 decibel laughter, and I was at like a 9.5, and it may have injured me. I may have, like, I have chest and forehead sweating at this point.
Yeah,
that was a mean, funny comment, and it was like I was reading in the middle. He was talking to me, and I was reading about Rodgers, and he said that, and I caught it, and I was like, "Did he just say that?" Don't get me to just start talking. I can't even think about it. I gotta change my mood.
You like that one from Gabe. He gave you a good one there.
It was a strong effort by Gabe.
A strong effort there.
Like, that would have been on Stern. That would have been a whole show. We would have rolled from there into a full hour.
Possibly.
Anyway,
let's get to before we move on to some other things. Obviously, you and Gabe already said it. Rodgers will go to the Steelers tomorrow. He'll sign his deal. He'll be part of minicamp next week. All the reports say this was all Tomlin drove the bus on this. The guy wanted to play with Tomlin. Tomlin was comfortable with him waiting until now, taking his time. So Rodgers to the Steelers. Now going to be official tomorrow when they sign the dotted line in Pittsburgh. All right.
It is what it is, Mike. Yes. Let me just say this. Like, as a season ticket holder, I have no choice but to absorb it and move forward with it. And I'm going to be going to the games, and I'm going to be witness to it and privy to it. So there's no point in me crying now. It is the move that they made, and I spend a lot of money on those tickets, and I go there and spend a lot of money, and I'm going to go, and I'm just going to deal with it. I have to say, again, he's better than Russell Wilson. So I don't have as much of a problem with it as some people. Look, he's old, and I think he is washed. But I'm sorry, Russell Wilson stinks. He was like cement in the pocket. I mean, he didn't win a game in the entire last month. He went 0 for 5, and he was terrible in the playoff game. So Aaron Rodgers has never been as bad as that dude. That guy was great for 2 years, in my opinion, 2 great years. People talk about his career, the Super Bowl and then the failed Super Bowl. But I thought he was great then, and I think he's very average now. I think the Giants are getting a very average quarterback. I'm sorry to tell you. He'll win half the games. If 50% is what you're into, he's your guy.
Yeah, I don't think he'll win 50% there either.
I don't either.
Seeing him win 50% with the Giants. All right, I told you I had these other afternoon baseball games. A bunch of them are about to start. Twins and the A's in Sacramento. The A's have lost 20 of their last 21 games.
Hey now.
That is not good.
That was our team right there with the Butler.
Yeah, that 80 wins was looking good like 3.5 weeks ago. It's not looking as good anymore. Now I got to swear, even the 70 might be a problem at this point. David Festa, Uncle Fester for the Twins today. Mitch Spence going for the A's. -2 Bills for the Twins. 9.5 is the total.
I mean, honestly, I'm on the Twins. Money line, run line, over.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to bet on the A's last night, right? You see what that got me. I went for it. I went Rogie Vachon. That didn't go well. I'm going right back on the horse. And, I hate the Twins. So, like, I hate the Twins because they're so boring. Like, in my view, like, they're a playoff flopper. They're just, you know what I mean? They're just like, no one cares about them. Look, when Correa signed with them, I thought I was seeing double. I was like, this couldn't happen, could it? That somebody actually wants to go there to play?
Yeah, and he don't matter anymore anyway. But also, giving you just a live update, we talked before when we gave you the Philly line how Luzardo got clubbed the last time he was out. Well, he's not off to a good start today either. 2-run homer for Bichette. It is now 4-0 Blue Jays in the bottom of the second. So already a 4-run lead for the Basset Hound in the second inning. Blue Jays are off and running. All right, Orioles and the Mariners. Orioles have been red hot, as you mentioned before. Zach Eflin and Brian Wu going today. -155 for the Mariners, plus $1.30 for the Orioles, and a 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going Orioles. They're on fire.
Yeah, they are on fire right now. Padres and the Giants will be at Oracle. Dylan Cease and Robbie Ray. Great pitching matchup. -120 for the Giants, even money for the Friars, and a 7.5.
Well, I think it's obvious now here what we're dealing with. So they blew a 5-run lead last night, and Robbie Ray's going today. Robbie Ray has been absolutely stunning. In my opinion, he is, for my money, he's the Cy Young. I know they've already handed it to Paul Skeens with his losing record, but this guy's 7-1 with a 2.4 ERA. You cannot even argue those numbers. You can't even argue that he's not in the conversation. I'm on the Giants today in the biggest way possible. And you're kidding, right? Like, did you just tell me it was only -114? I could care less.
Yeah.
-120,
-114.
Shave your beard, bruh. Honestly, you're bad luck. I'm all over the Giants today. Like, literally all over. I'm laying money left and right on the Giants.
And finally, at the top of the hour, the Mets and the Dodgers will finish off a 4-gamer. The Mets have taken 2 of the first 3. David Peterson and Landon Knack going today. Dodgers -135, 9.5 is the total. And I will give you this as well with this game. No Lindor for the Mets. He's not in the lineup today. I guess he broke his pinky toe. Lindor. Now, apparently he's not going to go on the
that's
IL.
Awful. That's an awful injury. That's pain.
And he's not going to go on the IL. He says he's going to play through it, but he's not going to play today. So Mets and Dodgers, Knack against Peterson later.
Yeah, listen, just so we're clear, I bet all kinds of money to the Mets at +121 with your boy Doc Peterson. I took the Mets. You know why? I think the Mets suddenly this year have the Dodgers number. They beat them and they won the series at City. And like, if they win today, they're going to win this series at Dodger Stadium, right? Because it's 2-1 Mets. If they win tonight, I got them at +121 today, and I bet it. So I went for it. Obviously, it is very hard, in my opinion, to beat the Dodgers betting. Like, this is a dangerous way to make a living, boy. But I did it. I took Peterson and the Mets.
There you go. So those are the other 4 afternoon games that we will have cooking for us coming up here in the next 30 minutes or so. A bunch of them are starting right now. 3-1 Royals lead the Cardinals, bottom 7. White Sox up 2-0 now on Detroit as they go to the 6th in Chicago. And since I didn't get to give you this earlier either, I'll do it now and we'll start the hockey after the break. Round 1 of the RBC Canadian Open also being contested right now at TPC Toronto. How about a bunch of our names are near the top of the board.
It's unbelievable.
Taylor Pendrith, who I've got 5 under, tied with Alex Smalley and Paul Peterson. Rico Hoey, Sam Burns, Nick the Dentist Taylor, Thomas Dietrich, Harry Hall, Victor Perez, Cameron Champ, Justin Rose, Irish Bear. All those guys are 4 under, 1 shot back. So lots of names there near the top, very tight, as you have got 14 golfers within a shot of the lead here on the opening round.
Go figure, a Canadian guy up there in that pack of wolves. I can't have it. We need to spoil the party here. After all of the booing for the last 6 months of our anthem, I'm very angry. I want Alberta to secede, Quebec to secede, and I want an American to win the RBC. That's it. That's the end of the discussion here.
Well,
and then we'll roll right into Oakmont in the U.S. Open, and you're going to make everyone a ton of money. That's what's happening here, folks.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, Go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, so we're going to talk pucks now, and I got to tell you, I was really invested in that hockey game last night, Carver High, because everybody loves hockey.
Everybody does love hockey. I was very invested in it as well. It was a hell of a game. It got out to a flying start, of course. You mentioned Draisaitl scoring to kick things off. Dirty Draisaitl, as he got the party started just 1 minute and 6 seconds into the game. Panthers then built a 3-1 lead. But here come the Oilers. Arvidsson got one back in the second. Matthias Ekholm tied the game in the third. And in the closing moments of the first overtime, less than a minute left in the overtime, on the power play, Draisaitl again on TNT.
Nugent Hopkins with it. Here's McDavid. The Oilers win game 1.
So there you have it. And what else is there to say? Like, this guy and his buddy, so McDavid and Draisaitl together are literally Chopin and Rachmaninoff. That may be above everyone's pay grade, but that's when you're top shelf status. When you're, Beethoven, Mozart, Rachmaninoff, Chopin. We're talking, these are the greatest players in the sport. These are 2 of the greatest players in the world. I have said over and over on this show, and I don't know anything. I'm a loser. I'm this, I'm that. I'm loud. I'm painful. I'm acidic. But I have said over and over, there's no way this guy cannot be denied. There's no way that this guy's going to keep, not winning the Stanley Cup. It's not happening. I think he's going to win it because he's the best player in the world. And, I mean, Draisaitl, I think Dirty Draisaitl's top 5 in the NHL for sure. Now, you're talking about McCrimmon, guys with speed to me, and no one's faster than McDavid, including McCrimmon as far as I'm concerned. And remember, Mike, you and I have had this conversation 5 million times. The Penguins won all their Stanley Cups with speed. Speed kills. Yeah. Speed is the answer. You want to win in the NHL, they say talent. Yeah, everybody's got talent. If you're at the NHL level, there's talent everywhere. All these teams are loaded with professional, talented players. The difference for me is speed. And that includes defensive speed. Guys that can get back, that never get burned. Guys that are always in the right position. Guys that are quick enough on a back check. Guys that are quick enough to do everything in hockey Speed kills. Speed wins Stanley Cups. Speed wins everything. Speed. And they got it. And those two guys are so quick. And you know what, Mike? Their thinking is so quick. I believe that Gretzky and Lemieux saw things before they happened. I believe McDavid sees things before they happen.
I believe that he does as well. He had the primary assist on the tying and the winning goal, McDavid, last night. He's always in the mix with these things. Here is Draisaitl talking about scoring an overtime winner in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, it's tough to describe. You're obviously locked in, and especially on the power play, you're looking to finish it, and some incredible plays that made it pretty easy for me to put that home. So yeah, it's a special feeling. It's great for right now, but we got to look ahead and get ready for game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the party's over. You win. Now you get ready for Friday night. But I will agree with him. He knows that it's McDavid that made them win that game. I mean, it's not that hard when you're a sniper of his skill and his level of talent to get a tape job snapper into the little squeaky hole that he put it in between the pad and the pipe. I mean, these guys, like, have you ever seen them when they do the All-Star weekend and that stupid plate glass they used to break? I mean, are you kidding me? Like, are you going to challenge some guy like Draisaitl to hit? He could hit a mosquito on your back deck from the driveway. I mean, these guys are dead on with their shot. And he's just a flat out, pure, like, flame-throwing sniper. The guy can snipe and score. Another one, Marchand. How about this guy with the one-timer on the doorstep? Bang, score before you can even spit. So you're dealing with, ultra-talented people here. Like, you got to understand, like, it's that simple. Like, you're talking about a guy that's so good at this. He even said, he's like, it's easy. This is easy with a guy like that. Gretzky did it. Lemieux did it, like, where they would feed you. And it was, like, I'll never forget, Robbie Brown scored 50 goals a year playing with Lemieux. Robbie Brown was a bum. He was an absolute hack bum with his long blonde hair and his fat ass. He was as slow as a mule, but he scored 50 a year playing with Lemieux because the puck was like living on his stick. Every time the guy turned around, he was tipping one in. I mean, honestly, you play with a guy that great, it's simple. Gretzky used to do it to guys. He made stars. You know what Gretzky did? He got guys paid.
I mean, Crosby as well, right? I mean, think of all the guys Crosby's gotten paid. Chris Kunitz, like all these guys that Crosby got money just from being on that line with him. Draisaitl
he made Gensel. He gave birth to Gensel.
Gensel too. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that you play alongside those top all-time great centers. Draisaitl has scored 3 of the 4 Oiler overtime winners in these playoffs, and he assisted on the 4th. He has been excellent in the extra session for Edmonton. He's been money, baby. When we come back, I'll save Maurice for when we come back because we don't have enough time right now. But I'll at least tell you this nugget now. Before last night, the Panthers were 31-0 under Paul Maurice in the playoffs when leading after the first or second period. They're now 31-1. Yeah. They blew a lead last night going into the third.
Yeah, I had mentioned that too. So I'm glad that you brought it up again because that's how significant it is. They never lose when they lead, and they did lose, and it's a good sign because I'm just going to eat that hoagie sandwich if they don't win the Stanley Cup because I have been riding on this train all year long. I need them to finish the deal. I don't care about Canada and USA and all that nonsense. I've had enough of that. I just want to see the Oilers get it done because I think they're the best team.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups. My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last two NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
I just said something very nice to everyone, and no one cared because Luke said that I'm not nice, generally speaking, and therefore it doesn't count. I was like, what? And then
That's generally how it works. That's generally how it works.
I tried to be nice, and it didn't go over.
You know, it's always
Ray Lewis supports me.
Ray Lewis supports you, that's for sure. 3-run homer for Max Muncy. Not the Max Muncy that's been crushing balls for the Dodgers. The other Max Muncy on the A's.
Oh, no.
4-0 A's in the bottom of the first inning.
No way.
They have been teeing off on this Uncle Fester. David Festa for the Minnesota Twins. For him. All right, here's let's get Maurice out of the way. Of course, Nosek took that penalty in overtime, shot the puck over the boards that allowed the Oilers to get a late in the overtime power play that, of course, they put away. Here's Paul Maurice. Don't worry about it, man.
Tough break for Thomas. Ends up being critical. As a coach, what do you say to him in a moment like that? Do you
just remind him after the game of being down 0-2 to Toronto, and that line came in and changed everything for us, and how we're not here without Thomas Nosek. It's a tough break, so we just make sure he doesn't eat alone tonight. He's got lots of people sitting at his table and reminding him of how good he's been to us, and it's going to be tough when he's going to eat that one for a day. But he's from his penalty kill to again, that line really changed the flow of that Toronto series. Just we'll remind him of that a whole bunch of times before the puck drops.
Yeah, listen, it is what it is. I'm going to just say it. I hate that penalty. I think it's past its prime. I really do. Do you really believe, so he intentionally wanted to shoot it into the crowd to cool things off? No way. So there's just no way. So it was just a mistake. And I don't believe, kind of a mistake in the moment, in the heat of passion, in a game that close. I don't believe that a mistake, Mike, should be a penalty. I think that, and if you do it on purpose, fair enough. But they'll never be able to differentiate the two. So they still call it a penalty in the NHL. Do you believe that should be a penalty? Puck goes into the crowd. They give them a power play. They win the game. Do you believe in that? Or do you think it's legit? I don't believe in it.
I don't love it. I feel like it's one of those rules in hockey that
it should be icing.
It was originally intended for one thing, and that's obviously, guys that are trapped in their zone, right. And it's a power play. They're a man down, and they're trying to get rid of it, and some guys would purposely throw it over the ring, just to end the play, stop everything. So I get why they put it in, but there's like so much gray area where you get a play like that where it's like, come on. Like, what? It's like the offsides, right? It's like the offside stuff with taking the goals back for offsides. There are times when it's completely, you understand why it's there. And then there's other times where it's like a quarter of a skate blade and the goal happens 2 minutes later and they go all the way back to look. Like, it sucks that the rules in there for that.
Valid to just make it an icing? You still have the face off right next to your goalie. Yeah. Danger. I think it should be icing in your own end.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I don't want to put any more lines on the ice, but like I feel like
they lost because of it. You know what I mean? Like,
they lost
simple
because
as that.
Of it. Yeah, exactly. They absolutely lost the game.
That's a cheap way to lose, in my opinion. I think it should be icing, but it's never going to change because they don't do that. They don't make changes.
No, they do. They never do that. The Panthers are the first team in NHL history to score 50-plus road goals in a single playoff. They've scored 50-plus goals on the road. Remember, they had a lot of games in this playoffs where they
you think they'll win
lit
game
the lamp.
2 on the road because they're so good? Because they should have won game 1 and didn't. I won't be surprised at all they win game 2.
I have thought since the jump that this was going to be a punch and punch back type of series. I think that Edmonton who won game 1. I think Florida will win game 2.
What's the number?
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you when we come back. I have all the numbers when we come back. I'll give you all the numbers for game 3 series and other things. Hey, already got 2 goals from Bennett. I only need 1 more for the rest of the series. That was on the sheet yesterday. 3 goals in the series for Bennett. Already got 2 in game number 1. So I'm feeling good about that one.
I mean, that's a done deal. That's automatic. He's just he's a problem.
No, we're
have
not.
Some fun?
No, if the Knicks are losing, I'm gonna be miserable.
Be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh,
fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? He's over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Skubal again. Skubal's winning the Cy Young, no shot for free.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Like every single category, Fried is right there with him.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.